Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. No, shut. Not quite there yet. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it real quick. Here. Oh, I gotta log back in. Hold on, Sean. I'll get the tickets up. Sorry, kind of scrambling again today. Let's see. Will. Will. Okay, Will's on number 3. All right, let's do this. Let's go in here. I sound like I'm in a cave. I shouldn't. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me see. Uh, broadcast. It does look lower, right? Uh, uh, is that a trick question, Neuro? Um, speakers, microphone.
There we go. Is that better? Broadcasting from the moon? Yeah. that's why there was drama yesterday, Nero. Is it better now? You must have changed something, or some setting did. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It was pulling from a secondary microphone. I had to do a recording for a group on Saturday, and for some reason I was getting like a weird dual echo, and I couldn't figure out why the heck it was happening. So I had to basically add a different microphone and pull this one out. And that was the only way I was able to get to stop doing it. But it was like everything I said would happen twice. I was like, is this like an app? Like, am I being trolled here? So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I had to kind of put something else in there. All right, so we're gonna dive into things today, just pretty quickly. Kip will be joining us at 10. Melissa has a client meeting this morning. So we'll see if Kip is going to behave or not behave today. I don't know. We'll see. Um, yeah, we'll see if he's going to, be good. He's pretty excited. I just walked in and I was like, "You going to come with Daddy?" And he was all kicking and stuff. So he may like it, he may not. So we're going to kind of blow through things. Last 24 hours on the currency front, rather flat. Getting a little bit of pound reversal. Again, didn't broadcast yesterday, but we had talked about that with the Nadex session about after what we saw, kind of a little bit of reversal. Everything else is basically flat. Aussie's obviously getting some ground. Dollar's a little bit weak, but I wouldn't say it's not as weak as it could be. Right, dollar CAD's down slightly. Again, oil is kind of up, but oil's pushing back down right now. Aussie dollar, this is a gold story. Swiss right now, kind of a dollar weakness story, but I do feel like this one is dollar Swiss is definitely something that I would be more willing to kind of hold for a longer term position down. Now Germany is talking about they're worried about Russia, and I don't know if you guys caught it or not. Where is it? Biden talking about it. Not that policy. Where the heck is it? Here. Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's like, yeah, I feel like they're ready to move in, and they don't want a full blown war because they just want to take it without having to shoot anything. I mean, so I get their thing, right? Right? We'll move in on Ukraine, but it's not a full blown. So it's like, here's the thing, right? If you could take over with never firing a shot, right? That's best case scenario for Russia. So of course Russia doesn't want a full blown war. Just give it to us, and then everybody's good, right? Is kind of their current stance on it. I think it's great that they deny plans of attack or invading, right? But yet they've moved 100. I mean, they absolutely moved 100,000 troops to that border a while ago. Yeah, yeah. But again, Germany is now also on board. Germany is kind of like, we're not liking this one, right? You're seeing this. They're worrying about Russian activities, and again, Germany's like, oh, here we go, right? So again, do feel like that's one of the big ones. And again, listening to the comments, these tensions and things like that, they want to avoid a full blown war, but when you look at it, I just feel like at this point, nobody respects Biden. I don't feel that this would have been, everybody got all over, Trump for the way that he handled, China, such a bad man, but yet Biden has kept in all the things that we've done to China. Now Russia, it's like, hey, we're gonna be bad to you. Like, don't you do it? Don't you do it? We're gonna be bad. And they're like, yeah, okay. Well, you want 100,000 at the border? Okay, all right. I feel like we're just trying to placate them. So yeah, fun times. But yeah, if they cross the border, look for dollar Swiss to tank. So, um, yeah, huh? Is it not giving confirmation now? Let me see. Well, remember, look at this. We haven't broadcast for 3 days, right? We haven't broadcast for 3 days, and Will can't figure out how to enter a ticket, right? Oh no, that was the other one. Hold on. Um, wait, what? Why is it not doing that? Why is it not working? 50. Create. There we go. All right, now try it. There we go. All right. Now it's working. Sean's like, I gotta be first. Thank you, Sean. I'm like, wait, what is Will doing? All right, so there we go. We're in. All right, so with that said, let's go right into charts and let's go start with the Aussie. All right, so Aussie rallying back. Had the nice little short that we had yesterday. We were hoping, again, I was looking for price to come all the way down to 7,126. Didn't get there. It started to rally back up really yesterday at about 3 o'clock in the morning. They skyrocketed this. We pulled back. And then again, late last night, we continued the push. Now, most of this has been gold based, not so much the Aussie. But right now, more or less gold based. And I would say areas that we're looking for. We do have a base a little bit, sitting right here. And again, this was kind of an old Harry Potter. We really didn't get entered in. We were looking to take this over. It pulled back and it base. I mean, it's definitely one you could have taken. If we continue that base across, that's kind of where we're at right now with a little bit more of a push. I do think this one reverses down a little bit. I think we'll have some profit taking coming in gold. Um, Stays in, it's not bad. Like I said, I like the base. It was a confirmed, it was a positive trade before. We went much, much lower, got the second one. So, as far as tops and bottoms go, I would say that, we do have a confirmed top higher if you don't like this one as much. This is a little bit more of a kind of an aggressive entry, but I would say that, 7306 is really our next level top, to the bottom. Upwise, I don't really like this area. This is actually an area that I kind of have marked off for a potential short. Reason why is because, again, the bottom and the bottom are exactly the same, and we'd have enough clearing south. If you throw a short position on there, though, you can see that from the top, and you can see the 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So there's plenty of room. We wouldn't need to get out of this one until really, I mean, your profit target on this one would be sitting right here. So plenty of room on that. And again, waiting for that one kind of set up. I do have alerts sitting on this one. Actually, let me set it on this one as well. I have an alert there. I'm going to put it, we'll go gray. And let's add an alert. AUD. Harry Prod. Sure, we'll call it that. All right, there we go. So now we know we got a short setting in there. Actually, you know what? Let's change this to trying to get better with my colors. Right, we're gonna turn it pink. But yeah, that's another one. So this is it's basically a break of 7207. Looking for this kind of racetrack trade here. I just like how the bottoms are sitting there. So have shorts up at 7766, 7306, and then again, little Harry Potter here. It's been pushed twice. I mean, yeah, it did have a great push out of it, but literally, it's the very, very bottom. So if we break, again, looking for a run all the way down. Okay. Aussie yen. Aussie yen, it's kind of the same picture, but not as clean. Again, it's the sellers in the area around, what is it, 18 or 82.80 from here up. There's, I wouldn't say they're great sellers. Now, while the Aussie dollar has been more dominated by gold, I would say that this one is not the same way. This one has gotten some help from gold, obviously, but it's also got some help from the yen kind of retracing back again. We've kind of seen that. Right now, don't really. Excuse me. Don't really have a great setup on this one that I'm in love with. This is a one candle top, but I don't like the candle that it forms with. There's a couple areas over here as well. There may be some reversal, but right now it's not really giving us a great trajectory, top or bottom. So when I look at the two Aussie pairs, I kind of like the setups we have in Aussie dollar, but I just don't have the same ones. Here's the Harry Potter base, but it's not drawn the same way. I mean, we could look at this and say, well, wait a second, there's basing right here, right? Here's the zone. Here's the zone again. The touch, the touch, the touch. 3 times, boom, we push down. That's kind of where the area is. But at the same time, I like it with Aussie dollar better. I just think it gives us a much cleaner, easier to look at setup. But it's basically the same thing. So, I mean, if you really wanted to get into something and you want to bring this yen strength back in, this is the zone you would actually draw it from the candles on the left over here. And again, you can see coming across. The top obviously is, here, here, here. bottom, you can see the touch, the basing in and out, and then again, it came right to the base of it. So that would be the same short. But again, I think it's cleaner in the Aussie dollar side of things. Euro pound. So Euro pound broke through. We were looking for 83.09. We missed it by a little bit. Came back up, ran right back to that same exact level that we had on the bottom side. Again, it was a bottom, bottom, bottom. 3 hits. 4 is what based and broke. Came back in there, based again and dropped. And again, if you had adjusted this level, the new level, right? If you had put this into here, you guys can see that again, touch, touch, touch has pulled away. And again, the overall profit of this one now is going to be 83.06, so or 83.09. This one has taken a while to kind of come through, but again, you know, top to bottom for this one, I mean, we're talking about 25 pips total, so there may not be enough meat in this one. I don't have this one on. This is not a live trade for me, even though it met the analysis. There's just not enough movement in there. I just don't think that there's not really just there's not enough meat is really what it boils back down to. Wait, what is it saying? Hold on, I just got a message. Okay, sorry, I was like, what the heck is this? Whenever you see tax stuff coming through, it's kind of like, eh. Yeah, the winter mix is over, so I'm glad that the kids are going to June 24th. Why is this not working? Hold on, 1 sec. Come on. All right, there we go. Gotcha. Okay. Why is that not working? Streams. There we go. All right. Oh, let me turn it down a little bit. Oops. There we go. All right. So, yeah, I think we're still good with the 83.09. It's a decent level, right? We just haven't been able to get back to it. And again, the old channel that we had here forever has now basically bounced down into this newer level. So I think we do bounce back and forth between 83, really 83 and 83.40 is I think kind of where our new tops and bottoms. So if you got the short, awesome job. It started here. Here's your 3 o'clock open. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. And again, there was a 7 o'clock bit of a pullback that you could have got in as well. But your eventual profit target needs to be probably 83.10. I'd put it just a little bit before that level because it was a decent level. All right. Let's go to Euro Yen. So Euro Yen, we were trying to find the bottom and look for pullbacks. Yesterday, or I guess Tuesday when we did it, we were talking about the potential levels of where it would push through. Right now, it's continuing to drive a little bit farther, and I would say that the 23s are not lining up. This 130 level up top, I think, is something we should just at this point leave it there, but it's not going to be probably a high quality trade. We marked off this level, and again talked about 1, 2, 3. It was a target to the downside, so the target was hit. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, and then you can see we kind of touched here, went through. So you can see all the basing that has occurred in that level. So it's a decent area of interest, but as far as a long, no, it wasn't a long, and we're dealing with this. So Euro Yen is unfortunately kind of wrapping into kind of the same look as the Aussie Yen. It's a reversal, and it's kind of like, we just kind of got some weakness with it. So I don't know. I don't really love much in this one either. I don't like how where the tops are. There was a base here, and there's a little bit of a pullback, but I don't really like the candles on it as well. So European wise, going into tomorrow, Lagarde is speaking, but she's speaking at I think the conference. Yeah, she's the World Economic Forum as well. So I don't think this is going to be necessarily a big one. Maybe we get some movement because of retail sales with the pound, but like I said, right now I would say probably still bearish this position. I still think the euro was more on the weak side of things, and again we saw that in the euro pound. Do I have a great long area? Not really. I mean, we have another Harry Potter set up here, right? This is the alert for it. Whoops. This is the alert. So, and it's just to this. So that's an old one we've had there forever. So again, I have an alert set right now with a break of 129.03, looking for profit targets at 128.62. But besides that, there's nothing. I'm not interested in anything over here. And in reality, I'm not really even interested in any of the pullbacks. Let's see, where would there be a 50 at? The 50 is kind of right there. I think there can probably be a case made if we turn early. There probably can be a case made for a pullback just because we know there's basing in there. Right there. And again, that'll be between. And it's almost perfect in the box if this is where its reversal is. It's a 50. It's funny. 50 to 61.8 literally is that entire candle if we pull down into this level here and then rotate. So yeah, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but again, this is forecasting with fibs. Euro dollar. As you can see, euro dollar really does not have any trend whatsoever. Literally kind of basing back and forth. Um, this one is kind of the same thing, right? We had a Harry Potter trade set up. We have not gotten a trigger into it, right? This one is obviously out. It just blew through it, so let's remove that. Let's pull these old fibs off. We don't need this. We don't need this. Pull that off. Yeah, I mean, we're looking for an entry here. We have not gotten it yet, but what I would say is I'd probably adjust it forward and use this level of basing here, right there. Kind of the same idea. If I continue this across, you can see it's more or less on, but we're looking for kind of the new proximity base. We'll remove it, and let's see. Profit targets need to be probably there. Let's see. Do we have enough room? Here to there. Perfect. That works. Let's see. There we go. It's live again. All right. So yeah, looking for a breakthrough. And again, it's approximately a break of 113.16, taking that one to the downside. And it's not a bad runner. It's okay. You're looking for about 30. So it's a risk 10, make 30. So not bad, right? And we're getting close. And I think with today, everything that we're seeing, I think this goes through. Like I said, with the dollar reversing back, yeah, with the Dixie kind of pulling off that, the 90, we got some room. We got some room. So yeah, there's a potential. Like I said, set the alert. Know what's coming down. Like I said, the only linchpin for this one is if we hit this level 1030 and then we pull back up. But I'm hoping we get enough strength to kind of punch through that other level with the Dixie to continue pushing this down. Because again, this is a weird one too. This is kind of like the dollar Swiss. If Russia goes across, that is technically going to be weak for Europe. Not that it's a strong dollar event, but it's more strong for us than it will be Europe. Reason why is because if there is, they do start rolling tanks across that border, there will be, I hate to say repercussions, but there will be repercussions, particularly with natural gas into Europe. So it will affect the European currency a little bit. It will bring weakness in, and it will bring some dollar strength in as a flight to safety. So that matches up with a break of 113.16 to the downside. So yeah, and again, profit targets down here, right there, 90. Pound yen. So, pound yen pulled back up. When we drew this originally, we talked about it coming down. We missed it by just a little tiny bit. Like I could bring it down just to there and say, okay, there we go. Now we're at the same level. We had been talking about 155.45, and you can see it's not only hit it again and popped, it just literally hit it again and popped back up again. It did give us another entry back in. So again, if you were able to grab this one the other day, perfect. If not, you got front run just a little bit. So on that 50% retracement. Great little trade. Hopefully you guys got in. I mean, I think it was a 70 pip. Yeah, 72 pips at the downside. So great short. Right now, I'd be changing the thinking around a little bit. I do think this one goes higher. I do think we get some pound strength coming back in. But at this point, I am watching it and saying, hey, listen, here's kind of, I mean, looking at this level, it's 155. It's been great, and it was a good takeoff point. But we kind of had a touch, again, not really an official touch. Definitely an official touch, definitely official touch, definitely official touch. And we've hit this level now. Again, if we count this and this is hit number 6. Okay, so this level, there's still buyers there, but the question is how many and what does it look like next? We have another big push to the downside. So kind of the same thinking. I do like the pound. I do think pound-wise, I do think that they are more on in a bullish position, but on a purely technical basis, the fact that this area has been hit this many times, I think we got to start looking for it. But right now, it's been great. As I said, it's been an area back and forth. If you guys are looking for a trade today, kind of what we're seeing in the indices right now, it does make sense that we have another long coming in. But just be cautious. This is hit number 3, and again, strong. First win, second win, number 3 is starting to get a little bit greedy, and that's where you run into problems. And again, definitely don't take it past 156. I would have this thing. 156 is sitting right there. Definitely get yourself out before that 156. Right? We know that there's sellers sitting there. And again, decent runner. I mean, it's only 55 pips to the top side, so not horrible, right? Not horrible. Let's go in a dollar US. What's up, Kipster? Hi. Hi. All right, so the little ones here. Here's our pound yen trade. So we talked about getting that kind of, hit. It ended up doing it, but doing it early, unfortunately. So I mean, we talked about getting that kind of the pullback, and we kind of got the basing and a pullback. It didn't go as far, so it wasn't as clean of an entry. Pound dollar right now in the last 24 hours is only down 8 pips. So it's not really, unfortunately, it's really been kind of back and forth. So it's not really. I would love to say this has been an awesome trade. The pound yen has been so much better to play than this one. This was missed targets. We talked about it coming back down. We had this one. It did hit. I missed it by just a little time there. Let's clean some of these old levels up. We had that reversal. I'd say top and bottom right now. This level of top, it has been pushed, and this was a decent kind of a new establishment of orders. So just to kind of get a more of a grand plan on this one. It's a little bit dark. Let's change that. Yeah, Kip. What you doing, buddy? Um, oops. Let's see. Let's set this one up so we have tops and bottoms listed. Um, mm, I don't love the bottom one as much, but we're going to use it right now. We're going to throw a fib on here and talk about where we're seeing things. So 50% level. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's talking. Are you talking? Are you talking? I'd say watch for this level here at 136.60. It is a 50% retracement level. It is an area where we've seen some basing and it has pushed back down again. That is drawn to the bottom just a little bit before the zone. It is driving up right now. So again, 9:56. We're about 30 minutes shy of our reversal times normally. It's in close proximity. We're only sitting 18 pips away. Could be a potential reversal there, guys, if you guys are looking for it. It actually has rather low risk on it as well. It only has about 11 pips worth of risk in it. And like I said, it's an area where sellers have stepped in. So it has 2 hits. It's hit number 3, but it is a 50% level, so we know people are going to be looking at it, and it does coincide with a 10:30 reversal time. So, you know, kind of one of those things. There's a lot of things, going for it. Look at this. I mean, technically, you need to be out. It's a 1 to 4.6. Your 1 to 3 level is right there. So there's plenty of room for that reversal if it comes in. And in reality, we're a little bit early. I think I would wait a little bit. Let's see if it bases in there and then kind of gives us a confirmation reversal. Um, like I said, the fact that we have sellers, and again, remember, the sellers are actually coming in. It looks like their confirmed level is 136.59. Not that that level is huge, but again, maybe wait a little bit further because the last confirmed sellers are at exactly the 50% retracement level. So you'll have people as using their trigger as that level, not the zone area in front of it. So may there be a front run scenario here? Yeah, yeah, absolutely, right. But again, use your own judgment. If it does go through, though, the 61.8 would be the stop loss for a lot of the fib traders. Fib traders actually have a lot. I mean, if they're using 51 or 50 and 61, you can see how large that level is. Let's see, how far do they need it for this to reverse? Let's see, 1 to 3 is all the way here, so that's quite a big move. Not that that couldn't happen, but that's quite a large move. 70 pips to the downside. So yeah, I mean, you're taking a lot of extra risk when there's no buyers here or no sellers here. So I think I would just rather put 2 separate trades on. If you're going to take that much big risk, just take it here, and then if it fails, you can use the 61.8 just above, right? But there's the 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So plenty of room down. And as I said, your profit target should actually, it's a 1 to 5 is where your actual profit target on that one should be. So again, nice risk to reward ratio trade. Again, I like it because again, we are getting reversal time and we have help from fib traders. Okay. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD extremely choppy. I think this one continues to roll to the downside. There's a lot of buyers down here, and we have some alerts and things like that. But I said it earlier in the week. I think we get down to 124 by the end of the week. We need 75 points down. It's got about a 70-point ATR on a daily basis, so it absolutely can get down that low. Do I have a great trade setup? Not really. I don't really like much in this one, the way that it's been rolling back and forth. Oil inventory will probably help a little bit, but again, oil's at 85.77. It's down right now, but it's at 85.77. Look where we are a week or 2 weeks ago. And all the CAD data that we've seen has been really good, right? Yesterday, where is it? Or 2 days ago, all the data for CAD was great. Yesterday, today it's okay. Tomorrow, though, we have retail sales numbers coming in. And again, inflation was higher, you know, they're expected both to be lower. If this is a miss on the top side, there's our CAD strength. This is what gets us down to 124. Yeah, buddy. So I still think we can make it. We only got 1 day to go. Unfortunately, I don't have a great entry for it, but that would be my call as we get down to 124 by the weekend. But we'll see. Today will be a big help once oil inventory comes in. Remember, oil inventory today, guys, is coming in at 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock. It's not the normal 10:30 release. And again, I'll cover this when we do oil, but there was a surplus, right? There was a surplus. So if you like that surplus, yeah. Everybody's expecting the number to be bad for oil, right? But what are we seeing? We're seeing oil charts go down. It's in the negative right now. So again, are they preparing for a manipulation trade? Probably. Again, oil spikes. This thing should head down as well. So there's my target for the downside. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss, we talked when we were sitting here on Tuesday. We were sitting back in this level, and we needed a little bit more room to go. It was kind of a decent level. Fib wise, it was okay. It wasn't earth shattering, but we've really done nothing for 2 days right now. All the other pairs with the dollar involved have been going up and down and really kind of focused around. This one is held. And again, this is going to be the kind of the Russia, we'll see. Russia crosses, this thing should head immediately down. Now, again, there will be some flight to the dollar because the dollar will be considered strong. But again, European exposure to this one, the Swiss should, geopolitical events, the Swiss should gain some strength from it. So I think be cautious with it. If it was Monday, I may be willing to take a long, some type of a week long position on this one. What? Well, I see you. But on a Thursday, I don't know. I think the last 3 times Russia's gone over a border, it's been on a Saturday. So it's definitely one that I think we could have some major movement on Sunday night. So just watch it. Dollar yen. So dollar yen the other day, we talked about this one. We talked about getting short at 114.54. You can see we based through that level. We came down. The first Harry Potter really kind of made it to profit and then came back again. So we kind of needed to adjust our entry on there. If you didn't take the second short, you're waiting for a confirmation, right? Say you didn't take that short. You would have based the new confirmation level off of that. And you can see that's exactly what we dinged this morning. It was a European open, a little bit late. I mean, here's your 3 o'clock candle right here. So it already started the move, but you can see we're well over the 1 to 3. All we needed to do was just adjust this slightly. And again, because it ran all the way to profit, we just needed to do the more near-term adjustment. But it's the same trade here, right? You guys can see that all right, let me adjust the top just so everyone's like, no, it didn't make it 1 to 3. It did. 1 to 3 is right there. You can see we blew through it right there. So hopefully you guys grab that one on this one as well. I will say that this is a level that I've been kind of looking for here. It's the same idea. It's a level of basing. We punched into it again pretty deeply. I do think we can sneak another little short trade in here at this level, right? And this kind of matches what we've seen on some of the other positions as well with the yen. So it's a little bit deep. I think we should get out profit here a little bit. But again, looking for that pullback like we got here, right? This pullback and then this pullback to the other level, looking for the same thing. And, this would be a short at what? 114-ish, right? 114-ish. And then again, looking for profit to come down here to, 113.70. So approximately 30 pip move to the downside. Risk 10, make 30 in its push to the downside. And again, original level, confirmed. There was 1 hit. There's 2 hits. There's 3 hits. We've had our 3. We'll see if this continues to rally up. It's a no trade. No, who cares? No big deal. But when it does finally come through and break, and again, just set yourself an alert on it, right? Yeah, buddy. Add the alert. Just dollar JPY. There you go. So now we'll get the alert on it. Okay. Let's go over. So Bitcoin rallying, right? This is the old channel that we talked about last week. Came back and tricked everybody, came back. So Bitcoin is rallying. You may say, why? Well, it is risk back on, right? Risk back on. And just because what we've seen, it's less of a chance for interest rate rising. And again, with gold and silver exploding again, everybody's looking back over for that inflation train. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So again, cryptos, I think, are going to probably stay strong today. I don't see them crushing down. There was, news over here. And again, they were talking about rate hikes. But with the rate hikes the way that they are now, yeah, I think this is a decent play. Anybody that was long got long this morning at that break of 42, I think you guys are in a great position. I think this one continues to go a bit higher. Well, like I said, a lot of levels up here. But I think it's a decent spot. I don't. There's probably a few hiccups, but until I think for right now, the play is to stay long. I think we need, I think getting out before, I don't know. I here's the I think the linchpin for cryptos is going to be this: U.S. bond yields rise higher again on expectations that the Fed may need to hike by as much as 50 basis points in the March meeting. I've been saying a double raise for a while. I think if the double raise comes in, I think that'll be a crushing moment for cryptos. Because when you're going to start, it's not only about paying a little bit; it's about paying double what you normally do on a raise. I think that's a good one. And again, that should crush this back down again. But today, the negative news today with this is definitely what's been driving it. Again, people are looking at this and saying, "Wait a second, 286? They're not raising interest rates. Heck no, right? More people unemployed. They can't raise interest rates to crush the economy." But that's not really what they're looking at right now. But again, it's driving the retail traders out there. Ethereum up even more. Even Dogecoin. Not not at the Elon spike, but it's trying. Right? It's trying. It's not as you know not as impressive as its two siblings, but it's trying its best. Um, let's roll over and let's start looking at the commodities here. So we're getting a little bit of a rally again. I can adjust this now because we do have a little bit more data. Uh, you know, it, it it's doing what it does, right? It is pushing itself higher. I wouldn't say that this is really a very strong trend right now. And again, it is a weird day for oil. Typical oil inventories are Wednesday. It is Thursday. Right now, the API report we have is there's going to be an increase in supply, a little bit of a build in our surplus, or in our tanks. Um, I mentioned it with the NAICS group. I don't. It didn't surprise me at all that it was high. Why? We just had snow last week, right? I mean, I know where I was. We didn't move our car for 3 days. It means we didn't drive. I wasn't the only one that didn't go in air for 3 or 4 days. Those are things when they're planning out how much supply that they need to have in our reserves. You don't factor that in. It comes a little bit late, so it was not actually didn't shock me at all. Now, with us pushing a little bit higher, the question is that prep coming in? We have an hour until that release, so still a little bit early. But if we drop down to a 5 minute, I think big things to look out for in this one. Again, we're on a 5 minute. So just be aware of that. If the inventory report was at 10:30 today, I would say this is already set up for a short. Okay, we got a lot more room to run. It is an area on the smaller time frames. I would say watch this 86.21. That's where the original gap was. So we really kind of have two levels on top of each other, more set up for a short. And again, the market is following the API data right now, kind of pre-positioning it. So right now, it's looking more like a short. We unfortunately have 53 minutes, so looking at a 5 minute chart 50 minutes beforehand is not going to help us. You want to talk too? You want to talk too? Yeah. I don't know. Can you guys hear him? Debbie, can you hear him? What? You say hi, Debbie? You want to say hi, Debbie? That's close enough. That was close enough. There you go. Yeah. He's really excited now. It's really funny. This is kind of, if you guys remember back when Jin was little, she used to do this too. Yeah, she used to do the same thing also. Yeah, she would hear me talking a lot and be like, "I want to do it too." He's in his chair right now. If he starts getting a little bit more wild, I'll put him on my lap. He likes looking at the monitors right now. So, yeah. But anyway, oil right now on a technical basis, on technical analysis wise, it is setting up more for a short. It's slowly grinding higher. Higher. This is what we expect to see in European sessions. This will go higher though. But again, watch those two levels. See if we get any type of spike in the next half hour. Natural gas is going to come in first at 10:30. Right now, natural gas is still. It finally broke through that level. We drew this earlier today, saying, "Hey, listen, this is our target has now been hit, and we based in that level. Look for a break." The hard part about this one is there's not really a lot of great levels over here. This is pretty choppy, and this was that first week of January that was kind of slow and threats of snow, so nobody knew what was happening. All right, buddy. Um, yeah. Um, hmm. I don't really love a lot of these. Like I said, there's 3 stabs or 4 stabs at this level. This one is okay. It's probably the next kind of clean level. I think the next real one is down here at 350. And we got a lot of room to run on that one. Let's see if we can get a pullback today. Let's see. We're going to use that high. All right. And what I'm looking for right now, why I'm throwing fibs on this one, to see where kind of we turn. I'm looking for kind of what it would take. Like if we start to reverse about now, right? We got 20 minutes before the inventory report comes in for natural gas. If this is our bottom, if we're able to maintain and hold right now, looking at where the 50% retracement level is, you can see that there is a small little hiccup sitting right there. So if we do have a kind of a surge, right? If we have a surge on in this price because of the inventory report, that's a potential parabolic retracement play. And then we look back down. Now, again, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't have a crystal ball, guys. I'm just saying right now, with it driving the way that it's driving, the number may already be out. So it's kind of one of those. Now he's like being super vocal. The market preparing for this to the downside, right? They're preparing for bad. That's why they keep driving it lower. And then when it is lower, everybody's like, wait a second, we should short. And then it spikes and it's a little bit of a trap. Okay. And then ends up going back down where it is. So, his first would be level or base. Hit demand, right? Yeah. It'll be pip chip. It's what it's going to be. It's going to be pip chip, Debbie. What do you got? Where's Sophie? Is Sophie downstairs? Sophie's downstairs. Sophie is his like he's already getting teeth at 3 months old. Like he drools all over the place. Sophie is his giraffe that he's allowed to chew on. So, but yeah, that'll be his nickname, Pip Chip. All right, looking at gold. So, as I mentioned, gold is rising again, as it should. So, anytime we get bad data, we're going to see a spike up in gold. We talked about the short. There was a great little short trade and ended up triggering twice. Here's the one. The second one is actually this red candle and back up again. So, we've talked about this getting higher. I think it's great. The reason why it's going higher is because when we look at all the data out there, we know they're going to raise interest rates, but we don't know when, and they're being kind of cryptic about it, and they keep making kind of weaker side comments. Again, Bernard was the only one with really hawkish-based comments. Everybody else has been rather weak, and then Biden was kind of like, "Yeah, the Fed will figure it out. It's okay," and it's like, okay. We know as well, and I mentioned this with the index this morning. We have not seen our food prices go up yet, but because they're not shipping. With oil prices at $85 a barrel, and they're expected by the end of this year to get up into the 96 to 105 range, with that happening, the transportation costs for vegetables and fruits are going to go up substantially, which is also going to raise inflation there. So some of this is seasonal, but it's something that unfortunately we can't really trade off of it necessarily today. But gold absolutely deserves to go higher, and we're seeing it roll back into risk-based assets, knowing that inflation is going to go higher. Right now, I don't know. I wouldn't be looking to I wouldn't be looking to get short this. We do know if we bring this back. We had a level that we talked about in the past at 1845. When you look at it to do the analysis, you can see it was a nice little drop. It pulled back and then boom. This was a big kind of hammering point. That's kind of where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. So is it a level where you could take a short? Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a reversal in here somewhere. Um, is it a kind of a profit taking type short? Yeah, yeah. Do I love it? Do I want to get short gold right now? Not really. I think staying strong gold and silver right now make complete sense. Am I going to jump on the train like with silver? Like are people like, yep, told you silver's going to 100. We just missed it by a year. I don't think silver's going to 100. I think silver is putting in some new levels, which I love. I think it's great. As I said, we had the short across. Then there was the Harry Potter trade. Again, hitting the level, breaking the level, and then using the level to take off. Well, I kind of like the way that this is looking right here. Okay. Not so much for a short. I'm sorry, not so much as for a long because it did really grind through that level. But 2407 was a level, really the 24 level is where the dotted line is. We talked about this being extremely important, and it formed a new base. It is really spiking today. I think it does start. It does. There will be a point where this one turns and rolls. I'm not really going to go back. I don't really care. I mean, like when we have levels, you can see we have one here. We got a couple levels up higher. These levels were all put in early November. I mean, really, I would say 2480. I mean, if I'm going to put anything, and I would say that 2480 is probably the next, like, really nice, good test level. You can see right now, if we actually, this should be higher. I'm not sure why this one moved. I may have triggered it in that level. And this is a level we've used before in the past. If we bring this all the way across, you can see that we're kind of sitting there right now. So gold's kind of at a level. Silver's also a little level. After a spike, yeah, they're both kind of in shorts, but I'd like to wait for a little bit higher quality of a short. And again, I think that comes in at 24.80, not 24.56. But again, it's at a level right now. So, if one rolls, they'll probably both start. But we kind of need some data to kind of help us on that one. All right. VIX wise, you can see the VIX is down big. Talked about that this morning that we expected the VIX to really kick back after yesterday. Um, Again, we talked about all the indices being green this morning as well, and they're all kind of rolling in that direction. So, you know, after we were talking about VIX dropping 2 days ago. It did come down, and then yesterday's volatility and everything we saw, a lot of the headlines and things were it was enough to jack this back up again. Like I said, I think we're coming down. We talked about how everything would be red today based off of how low the VIX was. It was down 3, and now it's down 6.5. So again, VIX level retreating. And I told Todd's like, yeah, he's like, but VIX is just it's just a mathematical computation off the ES. So if the ES goes up, yeah, it does this. It's like it does, but the ES wasn't doing anything, and it was 3%. Now you can say yes, and we talked about it's trending in that direction. Look for it to continue, and now it's 6. It's double, and the ES is even higher than it was before, right? And rising. So yeah, one number is derived from the other one, but understanding what this does helps you trade the rest of them. So let's look at the ES. There's the explosion from the open. Okay. Talked about how it was consolidating in. And this is an old level, one that we said there could be a potential reversal there. It's a 23.6 level. As you can see, I mean, we're right at 1030. This is where we see reversals in the market. For Nadex, we talked about 45.66. You guys can see how it's coming up and basing in this level. And again, 23.6. Fib traders are going to look at that and say, hey, look at this. Here's our opening surge. Here is your profit taking. Is the market now going to go red? And if you wanted to play it, you could take it of if price goes beyond, you could wait for a confirmation pattern in here as it pulls down and then pulls back up to the 23.6. But again, we have sellers in there, and again, it's a fib level and a reversal time all in one. So something we've kind of talked about, but at the open, definitely a long base trade. I hope you guys were able to grab it. Again, we saw the VIX coming down, and there would have been the actual trade. 9:15, we came back down and touched the basing level with a negative VIX, and nice punch higher. This was an easy one. There you go. And 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So you can see it blew the 1 to 3 trade out on its way back up to the 23.6. So hope you guys grabbed that one. Again, this is the reversal we talked about earlier today. It's set. It stopped. Again, 10:30 is when we want to trigger that one, and it's already starting to go out. So we end up closing below 45.66.25. Yeah, short opportunity there. Are you happy now? You can see the screens better. Are you happy now? Are you happy? He's sitting in my lap now, Deb. He's like, oh, look at all the lights and all the screens. He's all into it. All right, NQ. So NQ, unfortunately, also a long trade, but it didn't quite pull back. Like it did what it was supposed to do. It pulled back before the open, but it didn't get low enough to really get us the entry. It had a great pop. I mean, this was a decent pop. Whoops, hold on. 131 points. So decent pop. And look what it did. We talked about 5,300 as being one of those areas where we had reversing, and yeah, it did it. It made it to 294. So I missed it by 5 points. Missed it by 5, and it's reversing down again. So yeah, it's just profit taking from the open. Yeah, again, nice little opening trade. Would you have taken this reversal? Probably not. I mean, it's a level we knew they were coming in at, but it would have been more of a profit taking level, not a reversal and flip trade. So yeah. But you can see slice through the 23 got sliced through. There's nothing sitting there. It was really going up for the sellers up top. So yeah, unfortunately, this is it's 1 for 2 so far, right? 1 for 2. Got it on the ES. That gave us the entry. NQ didn't give us a big enough pullback. It went the direction, just unfortunately can't do it. YM did give us the pullback though. Here's your 9:15 candle. Pulled us right back down into this level of basing right here. Right. And it's also the psychological level, which I mentioned. I said, hey, listen, 35,000 is a big deal. It did. It literally came down and started the base at 35,000. Absolutely rocket ship. So now it is 2 for 3 at the open. Here you go. Just so you guys can see how far this ran. 1 to 3 is right there. So if you can see, this one ran 1 to 7. So 1 to 7. But there was your opening. There's your opening trade. Again, 2 for 3, 2 triggers, 2 absolute explosions. And this one, again, this one got a, it went a little bit early as well, right? But it is also reversing back to the downside. So it's there. So that's 2 for 3. And then obviously on the Russell gave us a pullback. You could have arguably said, well, wait a second. There's my base. It is established at 7:45 this morning. It did push up at 8:30 and then came back down again. And at 9:15, it kind of went down and it stopped, right? It stabilized. So yes, you could have also taken it off of this one as well. I think of the three that actually triggered, so 3 out of 4 triggered at the open for a nice move, and all three of them went well beyond the 1 to 3, right? Your 1 to 3 is here, and your 1 to 3 is right there. All three went above it, but of the three, I think this is the one that was probably the least attractive. So I mean, 3 for 4 at the open with that 15-minute pullback ahead of time. I mean, they were all great little trade setups. And again, out in the first candle, and now all reversing. This one also, yeah, I didn't throw fibs on this one, but if we wanted to run fibs from this last high and low, you can see that it's also reversing at the 50%. And you could say that, hey, listen, there are sellers sitting right there. Look, they're tested right there. So if you guys were looking for a reversal in the Russell, kind of the same one. Although the Russell I'd be a little bit more cautious with. I think it's going to be a little bit more exposed today with that unemployment number because it is going to affect the small businesses more than the bigs. But again, there was your opening print. If you're looking for reversals, again, there is your reversal right now in the Russell. And 1 to 3 is 1 to 3 would actually turn it right there. 1 to 3 would actually have us hitting the opening price, right? So if you're, like I said, 3 for 4 off the opening strategy. If you're now looking for reversal strategies at 10:30, you have this one coming up to a 50 and basing. You have this one at the 23.6, right, and kind of basing and trying to turn. NQ. Unfortunately, NQ didn't help us this morning for an entry trade, and its reversal trade was a little bit early. And then again, YM also left a little bit. Unfortunately, it jumped early. So ES and Russell are the only two potential reversals, but you should be 3 out of 4 off the opening prints, or I don't know, depending on how many things you're trading at once. But great opening strategy trades today, all across the board on those 15 minutes. So yeah, keep looking at them. By the way, so I have like 4 classes that I'm taking right now. I have to do like I have a suitability training. I have like this other lacrosse one. I have to finish my deck for next week on Bollinger Bands for Todd's group for advanced technical analysis. And I also have the other half of the actual class for the opening print strategy. So I have so many slide decks. I'm like literally nothing but slide decks these days. Slide decks and virtual sessions. Like it's like, oh, like I just want to go out of the house and like be gone. Like give me no more computers. But I have so much of a to-do list to do. So yeah, so that's it for today. Let's see. Apple reversing like it should. Right? There's your Apple reversal. Not surprised by that. Tesla did actually break through its top, so Tesla's got a little bit more room to run today. Yeah, it's a Bollinger Bands are I definitely enjoy them. Like, so you guys know that I use them as like kind of like a secondary backup. They are, I mean, it is crazy. They are misused, but I will say, do you guys know the dry eye guys? Like, if you've ever done it, like, whenever I do any of the more advanced presentations, I always just kind of like revisit, I'll go watch, old webinars, just to kind of hear, it's like, oh, I just want to make sure that, because I want, I don't want to miss because I use it a little bit differently. I want to make sure that, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, let me make sure I add that into the slide deck because I don't use it all, but some people might. I forgot how boring John Bollinger is because he's still alive. I mean, the guy, but that's his joke. He goes, "Yup, my name is John Bollinger and I'm still alive." It's like what? Like so, he has a very odd sense of humor. So he's like the dry guys. All right, everybody, turn to page 234 in your market analysis book and we will begin. Like he's one of those guys. So it's kind of painful, but there are some things that in reviewing the slides, like yeah, I should have put that in there. Yeah, I should probably add that in there. Just some of the basic stuff. So it's fun. I like him. Nice little. He is alive. Yeah, he's still alive. He's 71 years old. hmm Yeah. Yeah, everybody thinks he's one of the guys that like created this technical analysis back in the 50s, but no. He actually Bollinger Bands didn't come out until I think he come up with them in the 80s. 85 maybe they become like kind of like published. And then if you do the Bollinger Band percent, the percent B, that's only like 10, 15 years old. That's even been more recent. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, it's a lot of people don't realize it. They're like, oh, that's like old stuff, right? Actually, no. It's actually somewhat of a more recent kind of technical analysis. And again, it's very statistical. And again, it's used completely wrong. Um, and I was like, I'm debating. I don't know if I'm gonna. I hesitate to show the RSI strategy, right? So there's the Bollinger Band overlapping RSI, but it's not that good. It's almost garbage. Um, and like the actually the strategy that Bollinger uses as like his trigger, I actually don't like it. He's like, well, look, here's it's forming a W. And I'm like, yeah, it's forming a W, and I get it. And you're saying that this is here, but that's what it should do next. I'm like, but for what? What for what reason? Just because it showed it on the chart? You know, I question some of what he does with the strategy, but I do like the tools. I mean, the tools I think definitely puts you in the right mind, and it's another way to kind of help stack the odds in your favor. But it's not something that I would use as like my main. It's I would use put it this way. You guys know, like I think Fibs is a great add-on system. I would rank it lower than Fibs as an add-on, but I do like it for kind of seeing oversold, overbought, and again understanding the bell curve. I think understanding the bell curve is important with the whole reversion to the mean theory. And I'm a big you guys know I love reversion to the mean. It's with the whole parabolic retracement strategies is done is made from. So all right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. This little guy has been good, but I don't want to tempt fate here. He's eating both of his hands. He's trying to suck both thumbs. What are you doing? Yeah, yeah. He's been good for 10 minutes out of my lap. So definitely want to get him moving around and check on the girl. All right. So Will is going for win number 3. I know it's been so long since we've done a drawing, but Will is going for 250 pip chips. Believe it or not, Will has won 2. And again, Will's been kind of stealing a win here or there, but he's going for 2. So I mean, this is 2022 has been like the year of the heavyweights. Ernest Ding won, Neuro, Ernest and Neuro, were like 2 Rams fighting, right? Debbie's taken a couple. Debbie took, I think, a double or a triple earlier this year. So like 2022 has been like the year of the triple. So it's crazy, crazy. So Will's going for another. This is I think this is our third or fourth triple this year already that people are going for. So we will see. Ernest just threw his in. He's like, oh man, I got to do it. And remember, the last big battle we saw was between Ernest and Neuro for number 3. And who went in there? Will won it with a single. So, I mean, Eki definitely has a chance. Marina, Sean, Debbie, Neuro, you guys can still all steal it. Now, Will's going in big now. So, all right, let's see if Will can take it. Will never goes. This is the most that Will's ever put in the 3 years we've been doing this. It's never happened before that Will has put in 10 tickets. But, I mean, think about it. I think Will, because we were doing 50s. So, like, Will did a 50 and a 100. So he's up 150. So he's still, even if he loses today, he is still positive over the last 3 days in his pip chips. So he's working it. He's working it. And then with his 250 today, even though it cost 90, still good, risk to return, right? So winner of today's drawing is, do we have a stealer or does Will take it all? Survey says Sean took it with 1. So again, that's statistics. It can happen. This is why it's a lottery, guys. This is why it's a lottery. I was waiting for Nerd to type in Rig, but yep. So Sean plays the Steeler. So last week, Will was the Steeler. Before that, it was Neuro. Now it is Sean. So it is Sean. Look at that. Sean takes his 50 for the day. Will's looking like, I knew I should have just done 1. I get my renewal chips today. Sean's like, he's like, yeah. All right, where is it? Let me go to leaderboard. Where's Sean? Let's see. Sean is Sean is starting to catch Neuro here a little bit. Let's see. He gets his 50. Where are we at? Look at that. Well, about 400. We're going through. So again, it heats up. It gets real spicy up in here. It's real spicy. So we'll see if that continues. Anyway, let's see. Actually, I want to see if there's been a natural gas reaction. Actually, we'll wait for 1 more minute. Let's see. NG. I'm gonna see. Oof. Hold up, Kip. Oh, that hurt. Let's see what we got here in 1 minute. It's already starting to move a little bit. This is a lot of movement in the overnight. From 5 o'clock on, that's a lot of downward movement on this NG. You know what? Actually, hold on. Let's see. This non-US natural gas. Let's see what we're coming in at. Like I said, it's been all negativity right now. All negativity this morning. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's 10:29, so it's not there yet. It's trying. It's trying. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I know, 4.17. Kind of funny, right? But it don't matter. If you have a 0.1% chance of winning, you're still in the game. But if you don't play the game, you can't win, right? If you don't play the game, you can't win. All right, come on. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ah, come on, guys. You know you got the data. You know you got it. Let's see if it's in the chart already. Oh, it's starting to spike. It's trying. Let's see. Kip is watching the thing spinning. He's like, ooh. Like, no, Kip, that's not what we want. It's not what we're looking for, buddy. Give it a little more. Oh, I thought it was going to give it to us. So close. Come on. There we go. Big down draw, right? Big down draw. 206. Definitely considered a surprise. And we should see a little bit more spiking that now that it is actually printed. So we'll see. Again, that was a big push down in anticipation. There should be a lot of selling going on right now, so it should be a nice little pullback. So, yes, if you guys are looking for a natural gas trade, if we can get a spike from that today rally back up again, I would say, nice little draw bottom here. And again, it's going to try to push lower, but I think at this point, everybody knew it. So much of this pre-market move, I mean, literally since yesterday, been straight down. Look at this, 6 o'clock straight down. Give us a spike and then have us, continue this pattern. But watch $4.10. If we can get this to grind up, nice little short. All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow morning, make sure you watch out for. I got to put everybody back on. Hold on. All apply filter. Tomorrow morning, retail sales, early morning. I think again, as small as currencies are right now, pound dollar at 9 and pound yen at -20. Definitely good opportunity. Retail sales expected to be quite a negative miss here. Anything positive or even less than that should be very strong for the pound. So pound is a great setup in the overnight. Also CAD core retail sales. I think there's some movement here. This could be what drives us officially to 124. Don't forget, in the next 30 minutes, we also have crude oil inventories, right? Crude oil is coming in. The expectation is a -2.1. The API report, we're showing an actual build in supply, right? Could also lead to some really good movement. Again, oil is now pushed through that first one. So we are kind of at that secondary one, looking for this to rally up in advance, right? So again, start looking at those 5 minutes and again, start looking for areas where we could potentially pull into. We're looking for movement, particularly from 1045 to 1055. Look to see if we have some, not only basing, but drop it down to a 1 minute and look for a price to stabilize and stop. Right? Look for it to stop in one of these levels. I'm trying to see if there's one right above this. This first one we don't need, although it could pull back, but we'll remove it right now. I'm going to say we're going to draw this one in case we have. Oh, it did stop right there. Let's see. This is the other one for a short. If we can rally price into there and then stop in the next 10 minutes, that could also be a level where we go short. So lots to play. But with that said, I'm out of here for today. Again, I hope you guys are able to, do the same thing on natural gas. Look for oil. And like I said, if this continues to drive higher, oil's looking like it could be a nice little short there. And again, everybody's anticipating bad data. But again, what the forecast is over here and what the actual legitimate forecast is quite a difference. Last week it was supposed to be this, and again, came in much, much deeper than what it was picked for. So, all right. I'll catch you guys back on tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys at 9:30 a.m. And good trading day today, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for joining today, and I'll see you tomorrow.